good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We'll start with the long to short ratio because nothing's really happening. This top one's not really that important. It obviously swings like quite a lot, and it's just like very short term opening of positions. Uh, the one that you kind of want to look at is the Binance long to short accounts. Obviously you guys know this, but anyway, we're just kind of steadily around 1 to 1, which is fine. Kind of exactly what you want to see. We had some wild swings around the time where like Israel and Iran were firing some fucking rockets at each other, but yeah, it seems to have stabilized quite decently. If you're looking to hedge on a short on Bitfinex when we get up to 109, potentially they'll pay you quite nice to short as they're like majority long, 75% long. So yeah, nothing really too much to say on this. Liquidity, yeah, we've got a big chunk at 109.2, 109.3, just above this high. We've actually got a lot up into 111, and then just below that low that we made, we've got quite a lot of long liquidity as well. So all the way down to 100k, 109, all the way up to 111. We've got quite a lot in both directions. To be fair, let's just look at the really local stuff. Yeah, we're getting into some of this like higher leverage short liquidity right here, 1063. Um, and yeah, we also did that get pulled? I think that got pulled. Actually, yeah. Yeah, so these have been pulled, which is quite interesting. You can see from the footprint as well that it's mainly longs on this candle. Uh, we'll just turn that off quickly so we can see it easier. Um, Not really too much in the order book, to be fair, up above. We've obviously got the really thick stuff at 109 to 110, 109.3 to 110.3. Definitely an area to potentially look to short. And another one, I guess, at this high around 107.5. There's a little just like swing here. But yeah, we've actually made a new high from here, which is what I was talking about, 105.4. So now a bullish retested this, and we're looking to test higher. And then yeah, there's actually a lot of liquidations in here as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if we do get up, if we do get past 107.5, and then it's quite clear shot to 109.3 to 110.3. Definitely potentially quite interesting though. I didn't manage to get my hedge long because I was kind of waiting for slightly a little bit lower. I just didn't really like this sort of like structure, and I kind of wasn't really looking at this nice retest and these higher lows. Um, but yeah, I mean, if anyone hedged along at around like 103.6 or 104, then yeah, you're actually looking pretty good at the moment. You're potentially looking at a good TP at 107.5 ish, and then obviously at this stuff here. So yeah, nice. Actually, nice little move. I think Thumpy was calling that on the 4-hour stablecoin uh, in the chat, and yesterday we were looking at. Oh look, he just put it in the chat. Hidden divergence printed on the daily. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, it's definitely that's definitely an interesting. I caught two longs, nice. So you're long and short then. Very good, very good. Let me change my screener in the end. Yes. And actually, I'll quit Chrome for now, just to not eat the CPU. So yeah, it's for me still in the range, still kind of just chugging along. Uh, Obviously, if we look at the weekly, we're still well above the all-time high swing, which comes in around June. Obviously, closing a weekly candle below there would potentially signal quite a strong downtrend into like 90, 93, 94. We also got this hidden bullish on the weekly that's still looking to play out. So the weekly just looks all fine. The daily we do have that breaker structure, which is why we shorted 109, 110. But yeah, potentially just could look quite good from the regains. We look to have held this low on these tests right here, and we've pumped up from June. I'm kind of just still not really too interested in this range, to be fair. We've obviously got the lows around 1.2, 1.3, and then the highs around 109, 110. So just a range. You don't even really need your auto charting tools at the moment. Just it's very clear that like round here are the lows and around here are the highs. So yeah, I don't really see too much happening at the moment. Yeah, just keep in mind that there is a lot of short orders and short liquidity up here. So yeah, it's very interesting. 4 hour, we also got some bull div and some hidden bull div. And then, like Thump said, we bull dived on the retail stablecoin demand here. So quite interesting to look at. And then on the daily, he said, yeah, we also got the hidden. So yeah, potentially quite interesting. We also have a defined low now right there. So it'll be interesting to see if that actually like plays out and we get sort of an uptick, at least to the highs of like 110. Would be quite interesting because the last time we printed a div was on this candle right here. I mean, to be fair, by the time it closed, we did only 5%. So they're not like crazy strong, but sometimes they can signal a major, like the start of a major reversal. But even so, this one did about 10%, which I guess is a decent move, to be fair. So yeah, definitely interesting. Not really any changes for me on Bitcoin. Like we've got the lows again, 103, 102, and then the highs 109, 110. I'm still short as well. I didn't manage to catch any sort of long. No change ETH Bitcoin. Not really any change on ETH. Still kind of holding. Still looks quite fine. Actually, kind of bumbling along support here. We also got the bull div literally on this candle right here. Whoops. I might as well use. Actually, no, I don't want. I don't want to use that. So it was this one here, where we got the bull div. This is where we got the low. So low, bull div. Might get a little pop. Interesting. I quite like. I quite like it. Let's also have a look at some of the combination bands. Actually, we didn't even look at the combination bands on Bitcoin. Yeah, again, these are coming in slightly higher than the highs and slightly lower than the lows. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when we do take the liquidity or we do sort of like a divergence. So if we come up here and take all the liquidity and everyone like thinks we're breaking out, and then we kind of start like wicking down from the band, it's very likely that could be the deviation, and like vice versa. If we start coming in below 100k and maybe like take all the liquidity and wick down, wick back up, it could just be a diversion either way, and we could just like keep going like this. So be very aware of that. It'll be interesting to see. Like, I definitely want to keep an eye on the daily bands, especially like if we get over the highs or under the lows, to see if they actually uh, do hold after taking liquidity. But yeah, nothing really to say on that as of now. This definitely did play out in terms of bull diving on the stablecoin demand this time. So you get the bull div here, and then you wick into the band, and that's your entry, and then bang, you get the little pop. So there could definitely be some sort of like incorporation into my strategy where if you get a divergence on the stablecoin demand and then a wick into the band, it could actually be extremely profitable. You could even like say, Yeah, imagine if you also incorporated like Stubers into it. Whoa, you could have a real gold mine though. Anyway, uh, yeah, ETH's still holding. Like I said, I've been saying this is just going sideways. I still fully expect this to potentially go up to 3.4 around in here. It's cool. It's cool. Everything all good. Um, but yeah, did out of interest, did anyone manage to get any fart coin at $1? Because I was talking about this yesterday, just being like, guys, why are we looking at other alts when fart coin's just the one? And we kind of just touched underneath $1. I think I was saying 90 cents to $1. Obviously, it's quite a big range, but I mean, if you're accumulating on 3x or 3x like cross, it's not even that bad. Um, but yeah, potentially we just held the 786 kind of perfectly. And currently have backtested this 4 hour swing, so it doesn't look that bad. We're obviously still in a downtrend, and I'm expecting us to find resistance here. But potentially, if we put in a higher low now, it could start to like arc up. If not, if this is just the bearish retest, then we'll probably make one more new low around the 886, and it will probably go down to the lows again, and we'll see what the reaction is down there. But yeah, it kind of looks like, I know I was saying alts look a little bit whack at the moment. It's just because they're in a quite a steady downtrend. They also look like they've kind of been in accumulation for a while, especially some that are looking a little bit better. And also on Fartcoin, the 886 the daily combination band comes in around the 886, so it's definitely an area of interest for me. Uh, it's where I actually bought most of my Fartcoin anyway, in here. So yeah, definitely looking at that as a potential area to accumulate. Sup, Jack? If anyone knows how to fix a glitch on Discord, I can't use the chat function on live streams on my phone. I don't know how to fix that glitch, but I can tell you that you should clear cache and force stop it. Still doesn't work. I can tell you to just make sure it's updated or delete it and re-download it. I mean, it's pretty standard advice, but if not, you might have. You can type on your laptop, so it seems to just be a bug on your phone. Look back at some of the past bull divs. Yeah, on what? On Bitcoin or ETH? We actually do. I actually enjoyed the backtesting session yesterday when I stopped my stream. So I think regular divs. Oh, I guess hidden do kind of. Mm, mm, yeah, hidden in an uptrend usually does quite well. In a strong trend, the hidden usually does quite well. Again, there continuation. Here, when a clear uptrend, and that could signal continuation. We obviously have regular as well, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't really know why I stopped using. I mean, the reason why I stopped using it is because I had it on this and I never really switched to this while I'm in Japan, just because I only have one screen, so it's a bit fucking annoying. But yeah, definitely do love it a little bit. It's very cool, the retail stablecoin demand. In terms of yeah, the hidden obviously hit very well when we were in a downtrend. Um, in an uptrend, yeah, hits very well. Again, yeah, it looks like it hits, doesn't it? Especially on the daily. The daily is a very, very, very good time frame, especially for things like retail stablecoin demand. Hmm. One thing that is that just on Femex or is that okay? So one thing that is starting to worry, especially if we look at some of these like higher time frame charts, is that like obviously this is the swing. Actually, sorry, we need to put the weekly on. This is the weekly swing. We're in the weekly combination, man. We're regular bear diving on the stablecoin demand, and the 3 day is just bear dived. So like, there's definitely some warning shots there. Also, we also have the breaker structure on the daily. But until you close below June on the weekly, I just don't think it's very substantial. Like if we're just going from a pure trading perspective, but I will say that it is starting to look like, especially we made a new high there. It is starting to look like toppy. To be fair, doesn't mean it has to happen, but that doesn't look too great. And I don't mean like top top. I just mean like yeah, down to here. Well, maybe not that low, but pull back here. One more go. Maybe that's the one where the alts go. I don't know. That just looks. We obviously have done stuff like that before. Let's actually just have a look at the weekly where it's wicked into the band. Bottom, top, top. Kind of didn't really do it there. That's not a bottom, so X. That doesn't count. That kind of counts. That kind of counts. They're both kind of short-term tops. That one, 12%. That doesn't really count. This one definitely counts. So it definitely like that one counts. That one definitely counts. So like it definitely does signal. It doesn't signal like a top, but it definitely signals some sort of short-term if ish or some sort of reversal. But yeah, those are just the warning signs that we're obviously seeing through the technicals. That also looks like it's already bearish D retest. So if we're just looking at it like from a charting perspective, what do we have? We have a breaker structure, and then we have a bearish retest, and then we have a bull div. So it's just like, this is also changed direction and coming down. Just like the last thing we need for that is the close below June, because I know that the weekly swing comes exactly around on June. Why did that move? Well, basically around June. But yeah. Anyway, I'll stop rambling about the higher time frame. There's a couple big ones. Bitcoin daily, yeah, it did hit very well. It did hit very well. Yeah, PC is fine. Just got new S24. Sick, bro. Check the weekly on Bitcoin stablecoin. Okay, it's cool. Hey, was that around 80% deal on TV that popped up on your screen? Yeah, I think so. It was the summer deal, right? I think I just X'd it like really quickly. Is it gonna come up on this? No. Everyone know about the OG reactive. This thing is fucking sick, by the way. It kind of like does the same thing as stablecoin demand when you get the like easy divergences. And it's also like low key a Bollinger Band when you like peek outside and get that. Oh, it's really good. Anyway, yeah, I didn't actually see that deal. But yeah, like what's cooking, what's interesting, what's good. We'll definitely have a look at hype because hype and Fartcoin are the two things that I'm very interested in. And we'll just turn this shit off for a sec and collapse that. So in the short term, oversold on the oscillator. We got the little green dot. Nice. We do have a Stuber here because we made a new low. We haven't quite come back down to support. This is obviously going to be the giga long zone in here, in between the bullish Stuber. If we turn on auto charting, we've got some resistance up here, and we've got the weekly open coming in around the 618. So potentially, what I'm looking at on this is either we bullishly backtest the daily open and we come up a little bit to the weekly, potentially the first short. If we do that, we could even come up into the pocket where the combination band is. Now, if we reject, we could come down and start doing slightly lower. And if we do a little bit lower, this combination band will probably come back down into support around June. And that will also be the bullish Stuber pocket. So there's potentially a couple good trades on hype. One being a hold of the daily open, you could take that up to the weekly in the 618. The second is shorting the bearish Stuber in the 4-hour combination band, and the third is, say we reject off the weekly and come back down and make a new low, is June support in the bullish Stuber around like 34, 33 again, where we did catch some long in here, so that one did pretty well. Had enough chance to de-risk. We actually wicked perfectly into the band with W reversal here, which was super nice. Let's actually turn all of this off. Sorry, turn all this on for a second, and just see that, yeah. So we got the change on the retail stablecoin demand. I'm gonna start doing this actually from now on. We got the literal change on the double wick, because you know we like the double wick, bro. What is? Excuse me. You know we like the double wick. So we got 1, 2, the W reversal, the change of direction. We didn't quite. We also actually got the bearish divergence all on the same candle. So, boy, that was pretty good, wasn't it? Yeah. You even got the bearish retest on the hourly. Perfect. I mean, what more could you want from these signals? Something like that when it lines up, and even if you could, like, I guess you didn't really get the Stuber, but yeah, lines up pretty well. Let's have a look at what's happening in the local. Yeah, not really too much. I'm not that keen on it at the moment. There is definitely a potential long from the daily now. But yeah, that's hype. Definitely a lot of opportunity. I like trading it as well, so that could be quite fun. Oh yeah, you told me to look on the weekly of Bitcoin. What kind of was it on stable? Sorry, let me just go back. Look back at some of the big ones. Bitcoin daily. Check the weekly. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Looks like a big move down coming on Bitcoin weekly. Yeah. Damn, Winter and Oz, we don't get it. Aero holding up nicely. Okay, we'll have a look at Aero. I caught a long on hype also in at 35.6. You already looked at it. Okay, nice. Read your mind, broski. So yeah. I mean, let me just get a fresh chart. It would be crazy if this candle. Let me just take off auto charting. It'd be crazy if this candle where we bear dived. I mean, it kind of looks like it's going to be, isn't it? Just tell me that does not look a little bit toppy. I mean, we can all see it. It's clear as day. You just need to close underneath now. And the reason why I'm saying we need to close underneath is because we have this. We also have a hidden bull div on the weekly, and we haven't broke the level yet. So You can't really like the technicals are saying reversal, but the price action is still up until proven otherwise. We're not proven otherwise yet on the weekly chart. So yeah, it'll be interesting if we do this. We take all that liquidity, we wick into the double combination band on the daily, and then we divert and then we what's it called? Not diverge, deviate. Sorry. Then that might be looking really really fucked actually. Because then you could see something like that, and then if the weekly closes below there, it's just like short, short, short. See you later, bro. Anyway, the last time we diverged on the 3 day was here, literally at the peak. So yeah, it's definitely looking like a little bit toppy. Let's have a look at ETH quickly with these eyes, these scanners. So yeah, we don't really have any divergences. Let me just see if it's different on different charts. Not really, no. So yeah, we're obviously just at swing resistance. That looks a bit rough actually as well. This potentially looks like also a divergence on the 3 day that just hasn't printed yet. And we're currently underneath the 3 day swing. Let me turn off the bands just so we can see it a little bit easier. Yeah, that close was pretty bad as well. Let's have a look at the weekly. Yeah, that doesn't look great either. It doesn't mean that we're going to top, it just kind of means that we might see a short-term reversal slash pullback. Maybe like 2.2, 2.3. Not really telling us too much. Every time we've had a very, very clear change of direction on the weekly, though. They're not as easy to see because obviously we can only see it through the rest of the trend. Because you might think that's a kind of change of direction, but then it isn't. Is you can't really see it exactly when it prints. You have to wait a few weeks, but when it does change direction, so for example, like here, it does signal like also a change in direction in the price, as you can see. Interesting though. Let's take all that off. Let's go into some alts. uh oh, it's Aero. Let's have a look at Aero. Aero for my bro. Brero. Um, let's get a spot chart. Maybe. Oh, okay, they're all the same. Ah, that's got the most data. Nice. So Aero, yeah, that looks quite nice. Did a deviation there. Is that by any chance? Wow, that's actually had a really nice move. Definitely a little bit overbought, if I would say that right now. It's definitely looking a little bit cookied. I quite like that though. That's definitely a coin that's been in a major uptrend. Aerodrome is what Coinbase's liquidity pool or some shit like that, if I'm correct. Let's have a look at this on a half time frame. Yeah, that looks really good, man. I like these retests here. This high is untested at the moment, so you got a nice little zone in between here that could definitely be retested in an upswing. That literally comes in around there. There, that high. Weekly opens untested. Yeah, it looks good. That looks good, man. I like that. Definitely in resistance right now. Let's have a look at the stable. Yeah, it can signal hidden bull div. That's quite nice. Yeah, this has potential. What's the range on this? Just out of interest. Oh, can I have the ruler, please, sir? Yeah, a bit too much. You kind of want to catch it somewhere down at the lows. Nah, man, that looks good. In the short term, it's looking like it wants to go down a little bit further, potentially into like here, in between August and weekly open. That's also the previous high. High zone, resistance here. Also the swing from back here. So this blue line is quite a logical area to retest. You might even go a little bit lower to the weekly. That looks good though, man. That's definitely one of the altcoins, the best altcoins I've seen recently, apart from obviously like Fartcoin or Hype. Nice, nice, nice. I like it a lot. Caught along. Look what happened when the first bear div hit on the weekly Bitcoin. Yes, let's have a look. Yes, lower time frame stablecoins are still staying up. Can you please look at ETHFi and Poppercat? Yes, yes, bro. Yes, bro. Let's go. Let's just have a look at the first. Was it regular or? Yeah. So the first. Yeah, I think we just did that. I mean, we did a what? From here, we basically did a 30% down move. And then when we hit the hidden on the weekly, literally on this candle, we did a 50% up move. Like, these things are no fucking joke. So even if we did like 15, 16 to the yearly, that would be alright. And we could also do like 25, 30. Do you know what? Do you know what would be so fucked? If we did this. To the 786. That would really freak a lot of fucking people out, wouldn't it? That would be nutty. Stupid nutty, mate. Anyway, what was it? Popcat and ETHFi. I don't even know what ETHFi is. ETHFi. So, so big up move on ETHFi. Lost its swing here. Kind of tried to hold it here. Bearishly retested it. Came down to the next one in here, which is currently on, and I'll just leave it as March because I don't really want to have too many lines on this chart. Yeah, I'd say if you lose that, you're gonna go to the base of the move. You're gonna go to the 786. This March and 618 is the last level before we do something like this. Potentially looks like bull flaggy, to be fair, but I don't really trade chart patterns just like that. In terms of the divergence, it hit literally. I really like incorporating this. Literally hit right on the bearish retest of this swing. Bang, perfect. So yeah, this is in a downtrend in the short term. I'd say you don't really want to long this until you get something like that, a new high above there, and a retest of the weekly. As of right now, you're kind of just looking to short it lower because we are in a downtrend in terms of like a tradable side. Yeah. The 4 hour, again, it's just very clear that this is going to be an area to potentially short. If I just zoom in, you could maybe catch like the most pinpoint thing on the AA6 around 1.125-ish. Yeah, so with anything like that, it could hold the daily and go test the weekly. It could reject there and go lower. It could also get above the weekly and reject from the combination band in the 86. From there, it might hold, but it might also just keep going down. So, um, yeah, multiple things that you could do on that. I would just more lean towards the shorts just because we're in a downtrend. And I definitely think that that 618 to weekly is potentially an area that I could reject. Make a new low. We don't know if that's a change of direction yet. It doesn't really seem like it, to be fair. But yeah, that's ETHFI. Popcat. I want a fresh chart for Popcat. Do something like, yeah, below thin. Take that off. So Popcat had a really nice move off the lows. It actually did, I think, one of the biggest moves, and it did it first. It was actually not one of the biggest, but it did a nice move. It did like 450 up to this swing. Um, then hit some resistance around here. So if we just look at auto charting, we did the bearish retest of this very clearly from the September level. After we bear dived and probably made a new low on the 4 hour. Yeah, this doesn't seem to have made really a change in the direction as of yet. I think when talking about this, I was talking about 2, 2, 3, 2, 4 potentially as an area of interest. But it just doesn't really look like it's going to stop on the downtrend yet. Like bearish retests, very weak retest here. Like you want to see a new high and then a hold of the weekly open, and even then you're looking to short that high anyway. So I would say that this is going to go a little bit lower, unfortunately, unless it can break the high at 3, 3, 4-ish, and then bullishly retest something at like 3.0 or even the weekly open or something. But yeah, I'm looking at 2, 3, 2, 4 as potentially an area to maybe start turning around, and that's where I might be looking to accumulate some on 3x cross on my hyperliquid position. Yeah, these bull divs aren't doing much to it. It's still in a very heavy downtrend. Like we are getting something on them. Don't get me wrong. That one literally got nothing. Literally bang, straight back down. This one We got there, up to resistance, bang, straight back down. Bull div again, really weak retest actually, didn't even go up into June. Bang, down. It just looks really weak at the moment. I wouldn't be looking to long that until we get some strength around 2324. In the short term, you can obviously do a lot of stuff with this. I'm a big fan of Popcat. It loves to retest like very simple swing levels. So there's obviously one here. You can see very clearly that that was potentially a good area for a scalp, especially if your risk is tight. But just mind you that it can do this sometimes, especially if you're trading on an exchange with not much liquidity. But I mean, potentially a good area to catch a long here. What was the wick? The wick, yeah, 0.7%. It's nice. So if you're looking at like this area, sorry, yeah, 2% stop, maybe on 3x, and then yeah, you're already up like 5%. So a couple TPs in that. And it also likes to produce some ranges sometimes. So obviously very clear range low, mid, high. You know what to do with that sort of shit. That's why you can go into like the smaller time frames and really like catch something out. Let's actually have a look at the stable on this. So yeah, it doesn't seem to be as effective on Popcat. I mean, we did quite a lot of testing on this yesterday, and we said the further you go down the altcoin, the coin list, like the further away from the top 20 you get, the less accurate it gets. But it still was relatively accurate on things around the top 50. Because I think we did Cosmos, which is about 51, but that also has a lot of historical data. Something like Popcat, which doesn't have a massive amount of historical data, maybe just not on this chart. Do you know what? Let's get a Popcat USD. Yeah, no, see, that's just nowhere near enough data. KuCoin probably had it first. Yeah, it just doesn't have enough data, and it's just not high enough in the list to accurately hit on the stablecoin. Where does that go to? Sorry, what? Just took a long after high low on 4 hour for EFI. Have a bull div on daily for Popcat on Wavemaster. Yeah, but you just got to remember that divs don't mean anything unless you have a break in price structure. Like a coin can div infinitely if the price is still in an uptrend or downtrend. It won't go until it holds above the 40. You can catch the moves on smaller time frames. Also, yeah, exactly. It could just, if it divs, it can just like reverse like 2-3% and then just keep going because it bearishly retests. So be careful when doing stuff like that. Mm. But yeah, yeah, it's just looking really really sideways crabby at the moment. If anyone caught the long air as a potential hedge off there, but I don't really. It's not. I'd rather short the highs again. What else? What else are we looking at? Not really too much, to be fair. A lot of these alts look a little bit recued, and you're kind of just like waiting for some sort of strength or for them to hit their lows. But that's not something that you want to long. It's also not something that you really want to short just yet. So, yeah, that's really it for now. Okay, can you show me how you see the divergence in the chart? What do you mean exactly? You mean just if it doesn't, like it hasn't printed yet, but it looks like it's diverging? What coin was I on? Like this doesn't count, okay? Because this is a lower low and a lower low. That doesn't count. But if you had this and then it did a very weak higher high and the stablecoin looks like that, then it's obviously a divergence. You can see that we're going down and the price is going up very slowly. I can't remember what chart we were on. No, it wasn't that. Was it Bitcoin? Nah, it can't have been. Yeah, here. So for example, here we got a high, we got a peak here, and we got a lower high on the divergence, so we got a higher high on the price. But I'm not sure if it would have printed there, but it's also printed here, the whole thing. And that's also a divergence because that's a higher high on the price and a lower low on the oscillator. So you can just see, like, if the price is rising, even if it doesn't print a divergence and the stablecoin is going down, it's obviously diverging because they're going in opposite directions. I see. Yeah. I don't know why the printing is a little bit janky though. Like here, you can almost micromanage it, where you have a peak here on this wick, you have a higher high, and you have a lower high. It's very clear that it's like tapering off. And then, I mean, it's not something that you could take a trade on its own, but maybe you got yeah. I mean, you got in there, and then you got that right when you started to fall off the cliff. Definitely interesting. I'm gonna do some more testing on that. I mean, not really at the moment because I'm still in Japan. But if I was at home, that would be definitely something that I would like to historically look into. But yeah, let me stop my recording now.